be no victims, there would be no murderers. If there are murderers, there are victims. There is an inclination of theology to improve on life and to be a fake theology. And the greatness of the Torah is its truthfulness. So afterwards, God is punishing Hitler. But in true time, Hitler or Cain are exercising their free choice. And this is a main pillar of Judaism. We are not marionettes in the hands of God. We are free agents. You could be proud of it, you may be sorry. We pay a very high price for the fact that the other one is also this free choice. The enemy, the murderer, whoever. I encourage you to ask questions because they help me to make myself true. Anyway, yes please, and don't exaggerate. Yes please, Bakasha.
Don't exaggerate. So, in using our free choice in this divine paradox that we're in, and that sometimes we're at the effect of free choice, it's hard enough to just know where the limits are. If one gets into that level of dialogue with God, like on one hand, I'm going to stand here acknowledging that you've put me in the middle of a paradox where I can't solve the suffering of my people, so to speak, or of the world. But on the other hand, I can't ignore it and run off into some distant horizon and pretend that I don't feel it, because I have a soul that does feel it. So I'm going to use my free choice as fully as I can to say, God, my Father, you have put me in this paradox, and I can't be so arrogant to think that I'm God. But, and all of that, but it's a very lonely place. I mean, the human being has these limitations. You can't stay there.
I believe that you are deviating from the...
Excuse me, can you please repeat the questions for those listening?
I won't, because... no, really, I feel that this person is developing a theological dialogue with me, which is not the proper place of this lesson, and we will get lost if we follow up this kind of reasoning. What we know is that we have free choice, and we have to be very careful not to use it to the worst. But we cannot expect God from preventing the other one from exerting his free choice for the worst. But really, I can't say more than that. You can afterwards speak. So now we are very curious to see what will be the reaction of Cain. And we see that, we shall see immediately, that Cain has the ability to understand what God is saying to him. Because God is speaking in the language of punishment, not of theory, of actions. And he said, you thought you will improve on yourself. You are now deprived of the soil which was your livelihood. And you will be now a Bedouin. Now, see the reaction of Cain in verse 13. And Cain said to the Lord, my punishment is too great to bear. Now that you have driven me this day from the soil, and I must hide from your presence, I shall be restless. I shall be a restless wanderer on the earth, and whoever finds me will kill me. I like very much the words that I have to leave your presence. The sin of Cain was that he did not stay in the presence of God. He believed that God is not seeing. He didn't want to be close to God. He said, hopefully God will be on vacation. I want to have a free time. Now his punishment is that he will live without the presence of God. This is a deep understanding that he deserves this punishment. He doesn't speak so much about the agricultural aspect of it, he speaks about the religious aspect. I will live now forever without your protection. Why? Because I'm not my brother's keeper. Why should I expect you to be my keeper? Right? So he's a great man, this murderer. No, really. It's like in Shakespeare, the murderers are great persons, or personalities. So he understands this very well, very well. He says only, the punishment I deserve is too harsh. Why? Ki kol motzi hargeni. Whoever finds me will kill me. I will be such an outcast that without the protection, not of my parents, not of society, I will live all my life in the open field. Isn't that wonderful? He says his crime is taking use of the open field, and his punishment, and he understands this, that he perpetually live in the open field, where there is no person to protect him. There are only bad persons who want to kill him, and know that they will not be punished for this, because he is a murderer, right? So he says, whoever will find me will kill me. So God takes this into consideration. This is a prayer which is accepted. And the Lord said to him, therefore whoever kills Cain shall suffer sevenfold vengeance. Which means, Kishivatayim yukam Cain, whoever will touch you will be punished sevenfold. Know that you can imagine how many pages have been written in Jewish literature about the fact that Cain should have been punished with, how do you say, mortal...
death penalty.
With the death penalty. He's a murderer. Why does he get away with it with being sent to exile, right? So one of the better answers which I found is that Cain is actually Rotzeach Bishgaga. Since it is the first murder, he did not understand how horrible it is. Maybe he even did not understand the finality of death. He thought he will kill him, but after a couple of days he will appear again. He did not know what death really means. So in the book of Shmot, in the book of Bamidbar, the penalty of Rotzeach Bishgaga, if God forbid you drive your car and you kill somebody without any intention, should you be punished or not? No intention, you didn't know, you really are not responsible. According to the Torah, we are punished in such a case with the punishment of exile. We go to an Ir Miklat, to a city of refuge, right? And so maybe this is a good answer, that Cain gets the punishment of Rotzeach Bishgaga, of a person who killed without full understanding of what he's doing, and he is now sent into exile, where the murderer, or the killer rather, is protected from the revenge of the family of the murdered. So here you have also this protection. God gives him a mark, and it's not a stigma, as it is in English, the sign of Cain, or in modern Hebrew, Ot Cain, that this is a stigma. Here you have a sign that you are a Nazi. No, it is the opposite. It is a mark that God says, he is protected by me, don't dare to kill him, because whoever kills Cain will be punished by remote control. Sevenfold. In other words, it's such an azhara, a warning, but not more than this, right? So maybe this is the best understanding of the end of our story, and I see that I should have ended it 10 minutes ago, but I must read with you the continuation of this chapter because I like it very much. And Cain went out, I will make it very shortly. And Cain went out from the Lord's presence and dwelt in the land of Nod. Nod in Hebrew means wandering. So he dwelt in the land of wandering, east of Eden. And Cain knew his wife, and she conceived, and bore Enoch. Then he became the builder of a city, and Cain called the name of the city like his son's name, Enoch. Why do I like it so much? Because the Torah is not black and white. And just as Cain has been the founder of religions, he's now the founder of non-agricultural civilization. Unbelievable. He made the best of his wanderings. And the Torah tells us this. You see, if you are in a very bad situation, you can improve on it. Because you assume responsibility. And you stop victimizing yourself and saying, I'm a victim, I can't do anything, I will die out of thirst in the desert. No. First of all, who has time to build a city? Those who don't have, those are not farmers. So the Torah says the first city was built by Cain. Now please turn the page and now he has other sons, Cain. And he bore also Irad, and Irad was born, to Enoch, and Irad beget Mechuyael, and Mechuyael begot Metushael, and Metushael begot Lemech, and Lemech, now the story regains its course, and Lemech took him 2 wives. The name of the one was Ada, and the name of the other was, or Ada rather, and the name of the other was Tzila. And Ada bore Yaval, and he was the first of 10 dwellers with livestock. In other words, since he doesn't till the soil, he is a father of all shepherds. And his brother's name was Yuval, and he was the first of all who play on lyre and pipe. Isn't that wonderful? Also the musicians are those who don't toil, they never really work. They only sit and with their guitar, So the children of Cain, they built the non-agricultural world. Unbelievable.
But you said they all died.
Afterwards, let them live a little and bring...
And where did Cain's wife come from?
This is an illegitimate question. You can join this person. My son, when he was 7 years old, he asked me one day in the synagogue, what did they drink in the ark? Ark, you said? Ark. What did they drink? The Torah says only what they ate. So I told him, I'll give you an answer, but you never ask me such a question. They took a driller and drilled a hole in the wall of the ark and put a faucet, and they drank water. There was very fine, clean water of the flood. But my son never dared to ask me any more questions. There are questions which are out of the story. There's a famous article, how many children did Lady Macbeth have? Which means it's a question which you don't ask. I'm sorry. You have to discriminate between legitimate questions which are inside the frame of the story and non-legitimate. I know that students hate this statement of mine, but it is true. So I cannot tell you. There were a lot of siblings of, how do you say, Tomim, twins in the world. You can have all kinds of answers, but they are all not important. What is important is that he finds a way. This is inside the story. So, you see, out of Cain came the urbanization, artists, and artisans. But now we have Lemech. And Lemech is the first poet. And you should write it, in English it's written like a poet. So he puts his 2 wives on the balcony, and he's standing there like a troubadour, and praising himself. Unbelievable. And in good biblical verse, he speaks. And he says, Adain Tzila, oh, how